Ben Whittaker's master plan revealed. The surgeon Ben Whittaker signs with Matchroom, which is great news for Eddie Hearn, but not so much for Ben Shalom, and today I'm going to break it down. I'm also going to discuss Moses Itaums' potential next fight, and also the return of Daniel Dubois, so make sure to stick around. If you're new to the channel, my name's Lawrence Oswecki, a professional boxer, and also a former member of GB amateur boxing team. So Ben Whittaker survives the sinking ship, reminiscent of the Titanic, boxer in Ben Shalom. Okay, that's a bit harsh, but things haven't been great of late for Ben Shalom. He lost the Sky deal. You know, he's losing fighters, like he's losing his credibility. I'm getting a bit carried away, but he did get the deal with the BBC, 4 fights a year. But it's all a bit... I mean, the BBC is great in the sense you'll reach a wider audience, you know, make the fighters a household name. But 4 fights a year, how's he going to compete with Eddie Hearn and Frank? And it's great that Red Season Boxing is sponsoring Boxer, but you need more than 4 fights a year, and you need the fighters, and he's losing them rapidly. All promoters need a golden goose, and Ben Shalom has just lost his to Eddie Hearn. Just look at Eddie Hearn. He had AJ, he looked after him, he nurtured him, he made him a superstar. Eddie's a veteran, he's had plenty, but that's what you do, you invest in them. Guess why? Because they make you money. As a promoter, it's in your best interest. But unfortunately Ben Shalom didn't do a good enough job, otherwise Whittaker would still be with him. So Ben Whittaker rang Eddie and said,
"Show me the money!
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Eddie! Show me the money!"
I loved it, I was creased, but inside I was crying for Ben Shalom. Here's the thing, Whittaker said he always wanted to be with Matchroom and nearly signed with them when he turned pro. But the timing wasn't right, but it was always his long-term goal.
All my family know this is who I wanted to be. Like I said, at that time, the move I made then was right for me, but I knew down the line I was going to be here.
He basically used Ben Shalom to make sure he was looked after early in his career, because he knew at the time he wouldn't have been Eddie Hearn's priority. He's basically let Ben Shalom invest in him, make him think he's got a gold mine, then done one. But it's boxing, it's a dirty business, and fighters only get one career, promoters get plenty of fighters. Fighters have got to look after number one. But it gets worse, they're dropping like flies. Frank Smith said there's ongoing talks with Vidal Riley. He's already lost his other biggest fighters, Joshua Boazzi and Savannah Marshall. He's still got Adam Aziz, Fraser Clark, Callum Simpson and Caroline Dubois. But the question is, for how long before they decide to jump off the sinking ship? Personally, I've got nothing against Ben Shalom. I hope he can make things work. The more promoters, the better for boxing. He lacks experience in the game. He's been learning on the job, but he's been competing with wolves. And like I said, he's got the backing from Turkey, Red Season Boxing, so I do hope he can make things work. Whittaker hasn't fought in 6 months, probably another reason why he's left Shalom. You know, activity in boxing is so important, especially early in your career. It's where you learn the pro game, it's your apprenticeship. I think Eddie Hearn and Ben Whittaker's partnership go together perfectly, like cheese and crackers. The first thing that came to my mind. I think the personalities go together beautifully. Just look at the promo. I think that's a small taste of what's to come. I'm already excited about the partnership. I've said recently that boxing isn't the same without AJ and Fury, and we need the next superstar to carry the torch. And I said we've got Moses Itaums, but I'm not sure if he's got that star quality. And Eddie and Whittaker might just be that winning combination. And yes, heavyweight boxing rules, but at the lighter weights, when talent meets personality, and Ben Whittaker, he's got it in abundance. Say what you want, but Eddie's the best at what he does, the best talker in boxing. Nobody can sell a fight or a fighter like Eddie. A massive personality combined with Whittaker equals magic. When Eddie's invested, he can make you a star. Look what he done for AJ, from Olympic gold to a professional superstar. And Ben's similar, he came through the GB setup, Olympic silver, and he's got even more personality than AJ. And Ben already, even at this lower stage in his career, he's already got a huge fan base, borderline a household name. Previously I wasn't sure about Ben, how far he could go. I questioned his power, and after the first Liam Cameron fight, I called him a quitter. I stand by what I said, but in fairness, he proved me wrong in the rematch. He went away, made the adjustments, and done a demolition job. People say he's more style than substance because of all the showboating, but people are wrong. He just knows how to sell himself. There's a reason why he's got 3.5 million followers on Instagram. Any young fighters watching, don't make the mistake that I made, not using social media. You've got to create a brand, create a following. It's so important. The power of social media, if you use it properly, can create so many opportunities, open so many doors. So don't make my mistake. Use social media, grow your brand. And second of all, don't care what people think. People have an opinion, then they move on. The first fight with Liam Cameron was the best thing to happen to Ben, throwing himself over the ropes because he had to go away, look at things, reevaluate and hit the reset. And teaming up with Andy Lee, who's a great coach, is the best thing he could have done. Everything's fell into place. Sometimes things happen for a reason. He was meant to go over the ropes, meet Andy Lee, then sign with Eddie Hearn. Everything is where it's meant to be. People think that Ben's arrogant or cocky. He's not. Behind the flamboyancy, he's a good guy. He just knows how to play the game. In this game, it doesn't matter if people love you or hate you, as long as they care and interested. I think he's got all the tools, the skill, the amateur pedigree, the boxing IQ, the personality. I wasn't sure about power, but he showed in the rematch with Liam Cameron he definitely has. I'm not saying he's the biggest puncher, but with the speed, the accuracy, the timing, and in boxing, it's the punches you don't see that do the damage. In under Andy Lee, with the Kronk style, sitting down on his punches, you can see the difference. In more time in the gym with Andy Lee, developing the style, it's only going to get better. And with maturity, he's only 28, he will get physically stronger. Since training with Andy in the Liam Cameron fight, you can really see in interviews, he's grown and matured as a person. He admits he got carried away with all the attention. You can totally understand. He's a young man, a good looking guy. He went viral overnight. Sponsorships, things were getting thrown at him, but he's learned and he's on the right path. I do believe with Eddie Hearn, he can go all the way, but there's some killers at light heavyweight, so it's not going to be easy. There's strong rumours that Moses Itaums' next fight might be Hughie Fury, and to be honest, I'm just not sure. Hughie Fury, he's been inactive, and stylistically, I've never really enjoyed watching him fight. He's durable, he's never been stopped, and he's beaten with some big punchers, Povetkin. So you will give Itaums some rounds. To be totally honest, the fight does nothing for me. I want to see Moses in with a real live dog. It's went from Mr. Roller Dice, Ben Davison, Moses will fight Usyk, to now fighting another washed up fighter. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I know there's no rush, but there's got to be a better option. I don't think it's the fight the fans want to see. Hughie Fury turned pro in 2013. He's a decent fighter. He's mixed it with the best. But that's it. He's not the same guy he once was. He's past it. The last time he fought at world level was Povetkin, and it was 2019, and he lost. And bear in mind that Povetkin was coming off a loss against AJ. So yeah, not the fight I was hoping to see for Moses after he turned down Frank Sanchez, and so did Ajagba, Richard Torres. Guess who's stepping up? Daniel Dubois. Daniel's been quiet, as you can imagine, after that devastating defeat to Usyk. He's left on Charles. I think he's now training with Tony Sims. But guess what? He wants back in the mix. And you've got to give credit to Daniel, because Sanchez is a dangerous fighter. When he fought Ajay Kabayel, he actually had a knee injury. It wasn't him at his best. After getting knocked out, jumping straight back in the deep end takes guts, but that's what Daniel does. Tunnel vision, straight in there. I think stylistically, Sanchez is a really difficult opponent for Daniel. He's a great mover, he's got fast hands, he's got power, he's a great counter-puncher. And I've said before, the Cubans produce great fighters. It'll be interesting to see if Daniel has added new layers to his game with new trainer Tony Sims. Because we know he's a powerhouse, but as we've seen against Usyk, at the top level, being a bulldozer isn't enough. But what I do love about Daniel, with his simple style, you know what you're going to get. He brings the heat. He looks for the knockout. Kill or be killed. He's never going to be in a boring fight. But what I will say, how did Daniel get an IBF final eliminator after a knockout loss? If he was to win, I have zero interest in a third fight with Usyk. It was conclusive twice, the same way I don't want to see Fury or AJ for a third time. Let me know what you think of it all. Please let me know in the comment section. And has Ben Whittaker made the right choice signing with Matchroom? And can he go all the way? And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification, all the good stuff. And if you haven't seen my prediction video, Dave Allen versus Arsenal Bek Makhmedov, go and watch it here.